Oh, hello and welcome back, and thank you so much for clicking on my video. In today's episode, what we're going to be doing is playing the Caro Kann against a random person that I have actually faced before. So, I lost the other game, so wish me luck in this one. And so, we have the Caro Kann, the Tartakower variation. He might even go for the Alien Gambit, and if he does, then I will be defending for the next 10-15 minutes. He's thinking about it. He doesn't do it. So the main line here, the plan of development for me is pretty straightforward. You develop the bishop to the square, you castle, you bring the rook over, you pin the knight if it's an option. So we're going to go ahead and castle. And we're undecided what we're doing with these minor pieces yet, so I believe scooting the rook over first is the correct idea. And I wish I should have looked at the game in which that I lost against him. And so what we don't want to see is some nonsense like this. So I talked about scooting the rook over. I know that's the best move, so I don't even know why I touched the bishop. Now, I think we're going to go here. If he attacks us, we scoot back and we go for the pawn cube structure. And every chess player loves to see a pawn cube. So hopefully we all get it and we can look at it and say, look at this beautiful pawn cube. It only really arises in this opening variation. When else does it occur? You know what I mean? This is the only time. Let's do it, bro. My hands are sweaty looking at the opportunity of this pawn cube. Let's go. Come on, bro. Do it. Okay, so he did not take. We're still worried about these ideas, but we got to do something with this knight. Coming this way is actually an okay idea because what's about to happen is I'm going to have a pawn cube at some point. I guess he doesn't really need to take it. I mean, this option is there. So one chess principle is if there's a situation, I guess if he moves the queen somewhere, I can maybe get out of it. But when you're in a situation where it's like this is always going to be an option, playing other moves first is actually okay. Because this isn't going anywhere. You're going to get that bishop, and I'm going to get the pawn cube. And so there's no reason to fret about it. Is that the right word? Fret? I can bring the knight now. Queen up or knight this way. This is a very cagey type structure where we're both taking all of the necessary precautions before we actually start making advancements forward. Now this knight is defended. I mean, I don't know if this was something I really needed to be worried about. But just in the end game, I think having my rooks on the two open and semi-open files, I'm putting the rooks in the middle of the board. It just makes sense. This pawn push can attack this, so maybe pushing this forward or this forward will make sense in just a little bit. And then, okay, with this right here, with G3 played, I don't think that I've had this exact structure, but imagine that it was there. I have almost definitely had this exact structure. He needs to take this and I'll be more familiar with it. But one of the ideas is sliding back with the bishop. And the bishop lives here because we're worried about some sort of crazy stuff happening. Also, the knight can do it in 2 moves. But I think we're just going to push a pawn on the side of the board because I'm undecided and I'm unsure what to do and how to proceed forward. Basically what we're going for, and the most important thing that I've learned through all of my years of playing chess, and specifically in this past year, as my rating has gone higher than it ever has been before, is, bro, just survive the opening. Like, just survive the opening, survive the middle game, and the game will be won and lost in the end game. So right now, I'm fairly convinced that it's more or less equal structure. But now, the idea of escaping suddenly comes to mind. If I play this, what's going to happen? You play this, I take. I think I'm going to go for it. He had the chance. I mean, the position has changed just enough that now my bishop is supported. When he captures, my rook is in the middle of the board. But I think that it's more or less unassailable. I'm ready to double the rooks. There's no check discovery. I mean, there's a discovery here that looks at my defended bishop, so it's not like that's not going to be scary. And if he doesn't take, well, by golly, I think that I'll just take. And it's hanging, and that will make your knight step back. Okay, so he takes. I take with the rook. That was the idea all along. He can definitely touch it. He can give my rook a little touch ski, so that's not great. But the idea of doubling the rooks on the only open file in the position can't be a terrible game plan. And then my knight doing a little ziggity-zag to the middle of the board seems reasonable. And his knight is no longer attacking my bishop on either of these squares because the bishop is dead. And so his knight on the side of the board is kind of stupid. And so what's he thinking about right now? I mean, my game plan is more or less pretty simple. And you know what? Just for you guys, I might even go for this. Just to get the pawn cube. Because I talked about it. We thought about it. We thought we were going to have a pawn cube structure, and he didn't go for it. So if I can do it by trading off a knight instead of my light square bishop, then I'm a happy boy. That's scary. That's scary. But what did I talk about earlier? The bishop sliding back. Because what we're worried about here is some sort of crazy stuff where he applies too much pressure to my g7 pawn. And I just don't like it. So my bishop's being attacked. I mean, I can't move forward. So we are not going to spend a huge amount of time. I spent more time than I needed to on that. But we are undeveloping the bishop. We're sliding in with this check first. Okay. Definitely my queen is being attacked. What on earth are my options? This doesn't work. This is like the only square that seems to be doing anything in the position. So if I come in and then knight jumps in, I don't have to take it. The only thing I don't like about this is it doesn't really give my knight. So maybe I come all the way out and attack this. I'm coming all the way out because I have this open column. What do we call open rank? Open rank. That's the term for it. I was thinking about like an Excel spreadsheet. We're playing chess, not Excel. And so this attacks the pawn, and it also attacks the knight. I mean, that attacks this pawn. I'm not convinced that grabbing this pawn, this with tempo. So I think I just need to take. He takes, and then I'm up a pawn. He gets in with his rook, but I slide back. We're doing that. I mean, his rook is getting ready to come in. And then this is a big problem. So if I play this, he brings the rook in. I come back, attacking this. He steps over attacking. I step over attacking. This is now defended. If he attacks my queen, I'm not sure that I can grab this pawn. I grab in, and I come back. That way this is no option. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. I'm going for it. He can play this first, but then I slide somewhere. And I can even like step back with my knight. So I grabbed a pawn, but he's going to have what is called the initiative. He has a piece on my side of the board, and he's about to have another. And my queen is on the side gobbling pawns. But I am up a pawn, so if I'm able to not get checkmated, I'm all right. And the reason we're not coming back to here is boom, boom. I guess I could jump out with the knight at that point. But then this is hanging. So boom, boom, boom. Not sure what to do. I was basically deciding between these two squares. Now this dude is going to get into the position. And like I said, I can defend it. I can defend it, but he can push this pawn. And then I'm in a real problem. So my knight is hanging. If I go anywhere, what am I trying to do? We're doing this. Yikes. We're getting into a little bit of a time situation right now. I'm getting scared. Okay, so now he's attacking this pawn. Check. Does that accomplish anything? No. I can step here. We attack the bishop. He can defend like this. So he can grab. We give up just the knight? What am I supposed to do here? We go here, here, here. Boom. We're going for it. You can play this. No, you can't. What am I talking about? You can play this, but then I grab. So this bishop is pinned. So I think he has to step over, and then I step back. And then it's a completely even position, but I'm the one with the separated pawns. I think that's a blunder, right? Is it? I step in like so. I step in, defending this, my back rank. I'm so scared. I think that was it. And if the queen gets ideas... Okay, so he pins the knight. I'm literally just going to push a pawn over here. The idea is to step over so I can move the knight. He can try and get in. Like if he just plays this, what do I do? He wants to play this. I step over. He comes in. I jump back attacking the queen. But there's checkmate. Oh my goodness. We defend like this. Yikes. I'm up a piece. But I'm in such a difficult to play position. If he comes in like so. This attacks the queen. What if I just take? We're trying to step back. 14 seconds. Do not blunder this away, bro. If we play this... Bro, I'm just going to hang my queen. Oh my god, bro. I hate chess. Jesus Christ. Cool. You attack the knight. I go here. And I never got away from my stupid back rank checkmate ideas. He can just attack my rook. Awesome. Awesome. I just need to get out of these back rank checkmate ideas. I'm going to lose all my pawns. I'm just pushing this pawn. I'm just going to lose this pawn. And we are going to be in a stupid game of chess. Check here. I mean, can't be good, but we're going for it. Here. It sucks. He can just attack me like this. If I step in like this, he just steps in. Another check. If anything, I'm just helping him mobilize the king. We're going to give this check. He steps forward. This check. not easy to play, bro. And he's got a minute. Okay. You can just push this. You can just push, bro. I'm not checkmating anybody. Did that work? Oh my god. Okay, we grab the queen. We're going for this pawn. Oh my goodness. Here. Here. Which pawn do I grab? Grabbing this pawn. Which pawn? This pawn in. I'm grabbing the closer pawn. You know what? I'm in an endgame that I think I can win regardless. So we're stepping closer with the king, and if I get in here, I can win all these pawns and just trade for this one. It's not really what I want, but it will work. I'm going to save some time. Here, 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 here. I think we go closer with the king. Get a pawn. He can go for my pawns too. But I don't think I care. I'm so scared. But now we have this. Okay. We're good. We are good. That tactic in the end game. Bro. From out of nowhere. Losing. And I come hopping around with the knight. I made a lot of knight moves. You got to be careful. And I just set up this tactic. A Hail Mary. Boom. And it works. Boom. What did I say at the beginning of this? Games are won and lost in the end game. And all the way back here, we're in the end game. This situation, you know what? I could have just admitted that I was going to lose the knight and just like started grabbing pawns or something. I think taking with the knight would have also made sense because you take, I take, and the rook is under attack, so you got to do something. So I think I could have just taken here. And if you grab my queen, I grab yours. And if you grab my knight, I grab your rook. So if you save your rook, I save my knight. And then I just got a knight, an extra knight against these like three pawns, 2 extra. So let's check that with the computer and see how accurate it was. That was an emotional roller coaster of a game, and it was won and lost in the end game. So let's go to the analysis. And here we are in the analysis. And don't even say it, I'm thinking it too. I came back from nothing. Did I deserve that? I had a completely winning position. In low time, I hang my queen. I hang out long enough for him to hang his queen as well. And so, man, what did I say at the beginning? Games are won and lost in the end game, and there can be huge swings. And so look at this graph. Look at the graph in the opening, look at the graph in the middle game, and then look at the graph in the end game. So if you're going to practice and study and understand anything in chess, it's the end game, okay? Because every game that I play at my level, maybe at lower levels or something, it gets crazy in here. I don't actually know because I'm not looking at graphs of like 1200 rated games or whatever. If you can avoid like blundering pieces in one move in the opening and the middle game, you can do it in the end game and still survive. So that was long enough. Let's hop right into it. We have the Caro Kann. I believe it's called the Tartakower. Tartakower. Look at that. I know my openings, okay? You don't got to play like this. Right here, developing the bishop is the best move. So just take, this is the main line, Caro Kann main line. Boom, boom. And then the alien gambit would be this. Okay, so that's how the alien gambit arises. He takes the knight, we take back like this away from the center, but we're going to castle this way and potentially get a pawn cube. So best move, best move, best move, best move. Not the best move. I'm supposed to step forward and get away because I can actually escape on a lot of crazy dark squares like this, but I went for the pawn cube, and it's still completely even. If you look at the clock, tiny advantage for white. Now, we're just developing our pieces, and at this point, I realize it's been on the board for a while, but I was kind of okay with the pawn cube because I know that it's still an even position. All right, so we are like 18 moves into the game. How many moves into the game are we? Where is it? Yeah, 14 moves into the game, completely even. All right, and there was a lot of moves we could have played. Finally, I realize I don't need to go for the pawn cube. I can get out of this now that it's supported, and it's been supported for a while. So he trades, I take. There's no useful discoveries, and I can get out of it with a check. So he brings the knight. And then this is something in this structure. If you play the Tartakower, if you play the Caro Kann and you go into the Tartakower, you should just know this idea. The bishop is attacked. This one, he made it really simple. I mean, he attacked the bishop, and I essentially have one square. That's like, what else was I going to play, realistically? Leave it there or move it. And if I'm moving it, this is the only square that makes sense. But even when the knight doesn't arrive here and maybe there's like other stuff going on, undeveloping the bishop to defend your g7 square is an idea that exists in these types of positions, all right? So it looks stupid that you're undeveloping a piece, but it serves its purpose, and you can get back out in the end game after the pressure on this pawn is alleviated. Okay, he attacks the queen. I go ahead, best move, throw in a little trade first, then I jump in. I'm attacking the knight, I'm attacking the pawn. He jumps in, and essentially I didn't want to grab this pawn and let him grab this pawn, and it's the right idea to simply trade. Now I grab this pawn, and it's still even because, like I explained in the video, I got a pawn, but he got the initiative. So he has a piece on my side of the board, and he's ready to bring another. Not only that, I've got looming back rank ideas because I have not found the time to make any pawn pushes to give me a little luft. Ideally, this one that I play later. Okay? He attacks my rook. What is the best move here? Just attack the bishop, but I play the second best move, so don't hate it. Then his rook arrives. I undevelop the knight in a way, and just doubling up is what he's supposed to do. It's completely even, but I'm up a pawn. And so a pawn means very little when you have two pieces on your 7th rank and a third ready to support and just get in, okay? So I'm supposed to just throw a pawn on the side of the board. If you expected me to play this move in this position, you're crazy, and that's a cheater. There is no possible way that I play this move, or anybody. Like, are you kidding me? This is what we're dealing with? And you push a pawn on the side of the board, that is how you maintain your advantage? Not a chance. I play the second best, far more natural move. We attack the bishop. When the bishop moves, I get the pawn, or you have to defend like this, which kind of pins the bishop because the rook is undefended. So it's still completely even. But I need to put my rook on the open file. I need to say, these guys are stupid. My queen can maintain all of this. Rook to the open file to prevent the queen from getting in any type way is what I needed to play. I don't. Now, I throw away my 1 pawn advantage to a minus pawn advantage. It looked fancy. It looked fancy. You take my knight, you take my knight, I take your bishop. And white is just slightly winning because he is not up a pawn, but my pawn structure sucks in comparison to his. Like, his pawn structure is beautiful, pristine, undestroyed, and I got the gap tooth structure and doubled pawns here. So I was trying to get rid of the knight, like get rid of the knight and get the bishop. I think that actually it's very still holdable. So he steps over. He's attacking this. It's defended by this, but I have this in-between move where I take the bishop, and now I'm defending the rook. So he pins the knight. What I'm supposed to do is say, okay, you take my queen, I'm taking your queen, with tempo on the rook. You get in to touch my pawns, and then we go on from there. I got a knight, okay? We're not going to go further into this. So this happened. I'm supposed to just find this tactic. Instead, I wanted to take 2 moves to get out of the pin. I'm still winning. And again, we're supposed to go for this. We attack the queen. That's funny that the queen is being attacked on both of these squares, somehow with a discovery with the knight, but I'm supposed to just go for it. I go for your queen. If you take, I take. And then, like I said, if you grab my knight, I grab your rook, you lose the game. If you save your rook, I save my knight, you grab a pawn, we're chilling. And so, happened twice. Twice in the position with 36 seconds, I didn't find it. Instead, I defend a pawn. But now, being pinned is still very much an issue because the queen is coming. One more opportunity, he basically forced me to look at, I looked at it. Like before, you got to find this yourself. Here, he literally forces me to think about what happens if my knight takes. And with 26 seconds, I don't know why I didn't play it. Didn't find it. I take with the pawn, and it goes back to a draw. I'm still slightly winning, but You see how the pendulum swings, bro? Like, I'm completely winning here, and then all of a sudden, I go up another pawn, and I'm not winning anymore? Chess is wild. And he chooses the wrong square. This is the square he needed to pick to attack my knight twice, and he picked this one. And the difference is I can attack the queen here. So if he takes here, I'm going to checkmate you in 10 moves. Let's be realistic. That was never happening. That was never happening. The simple idea of attacking the queen does make sense, but then I'm just giving up the knight. So I needed to realize I can give up the knight, you can win the knight, but now I have the initiative. I'm going to checkmate you. Never was seeing that with 14 seconds. Sorry. So instead of that, I hang my queen. And now he's winning. All of a sudden, the pendulum swings. I'm completely losing. He's got the queen. He's got the better pawn structure. I've got back rank ideas, and then a knight and a rook are not as good as like a bishop. If I had a bishop and a rook, it's better. At least a little bit. So we jump the knight to the middle of the board. We defend the pawn. We come back to defend the knight. We push a pawn so that there are no back rank nonsense. So I completely gave up this pawn, but now I'm not going to get back rank checkmated. We move the rook to an open file. We give a check. We jump back. We give a check. We give a check. We give a check. We give another check. So I'm literally just doing nothing. I'm just harassing the king. But the knight and the rook in this structure, I'm never going to checkmate him because he can run this way. And so there's too many pawns in the way. Yes, there are rook and knight checkmates. I don't remember what it's called, but I'm not going to find it. And so I attack the queen. Thank goodness I moved this pawn because now I have an escaping square. He attacks the knight. He basically forces this move. He comes in, and I set up the tactic. He had 1 minute on the clock. If we look at his profile, he doesn't even play bullet. If he would have played bullet, I think with 1 minute on the clock, he wouldn't have panicked. He would have taken the time to realize the rook is looking at my queen. There's a check here. There's a check here. You got to move the queen. And after this move, I'm completely lost because I can't even save everything. Like, I'm so lost. You just get in here and touch both of me. I got to do something. And I picked the not as good move. I could have played this. The difference is... the difference is whatever, okay? We play this move. I guess he could have taken and I taken, and he gets a little bit closer, and then it would be hard to... I don't know. I'm winning regardless. We get the queen. He takes. This pawn is just straight up hanging, but I was more worried about the closer to being promoted pawn. Whatever, we take it. And then here I kind of realized that I've got a 4-on-3. So if I can just get my king in and take these 3 pawns, even if you take all 3, if one pawn makes it, I win the game. And I just sacrifice for this. So I'm supposed to realize I have time to go boom, boom, grab this, you come back, and then move the king, but I come back here. So I could have grabbed a pawn with the rook, whatever. Everything is winning. We go all the way back, and I realize I'm coming in with my king. I'm grabbing these pawns. And then this move right here, this pawn is being attacked, so we jump forward. If you take this one, I get a passed pawn. So that is why I play this move. I guess this is technically better. Or just grabbing this. Whatever. I like this move because it forces the position. We get rid of this pawn, and we're getting a passed pawn no matter what. And then this part, we get behind the passed pawn. We take. He can make a queen, but I'm just going to take it. And my passed pawn is going to live. We don't even care about this one. Thank you so much for watching my video. That was a pleasure to play for you. Sorry if the analysis was a little bit too long. Maybe I should just breeze through the opening and just show you guys the end game, because the opening is like, okay, play chess every day for 6 months, 7 months, and you're gonna have a more or less general idea how to play all the different openings. And so just pick 2 openings, bro. Pick one with white, pick one with black. When other stuff comes up, okay, analyze the game after, look at the best moves. That's all about all it takes. You just gotta, what's the main line? And then the general ideas in the position, and you don't have to study that hard. It's not like I don't take time aside to study openings. I just study the opening after I play the game. And that has worked just well enough for me. And then in the end game, that's all you got to really know. Don't hang your queen twice. Like, I hung my queen, he hung his queen. We're 1900, bro, 2000, whatever you want to call it. And we're still hanging queens. So focus on the end game. Focus on the end game and the tactics, all right? Thank you so much for watching my video. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Sorry that was too long, but get out of here. Bye.